Each year, Leading Age honors an individual who has provided outstanding leadership to the association and to the field of aging services. Each year, we receive a number of extraordinary nominations for this achievement, and 2015 was no different. This year's recipient has been an innovator in our field for over 40 years. Throughout his career, long before he became president and CEO of Leading Age, he was an outstanding champion for our nation's seniors. In the words of our members, his advocacy and determination are second to none. As many of you have experienced firsthand, Larry Minnix's passion is nothing but contagious. He is a source of motivation for anyone and everyone who comes in contact with him. And he believes in cultivating leaders who carry on our work and our message with the same integrity and the same commitment that he has exemplified for decades. His role in founding the Leadership Academy has made our association, our field, and our country stronger. Please join me in congratulating 2015 Annual Award of Honor winner, Larry Minnix. Just as soon as we stop for the applause.
Thank you. Thank you.
So this will be the first of many standing ovations, so sit down and rest. Okay, now Larry, before we let you speak here, come over here.
Okay.
Okay, and you're gonna stand right here on this X. I love telling Larry what to do. You know, right here. Right there. Right there. You see that X?
Everybody has a boss. Oh,
Okay,
I got it right there.
Okay, now we're gonna watch the video.
When I was in charge of the committee looking for the new CEO, I thought about Larry Minnix because I thought Larry hit everything in my top 10 list of what we needed for the leader of Leading Age. Number 10, those movie star good looks. I mean, perfect. Number 9, he's a Southern gentleman.
He hugs you, he looks right into your eyes, he's really interested in what you're doing.
Larry is a distinguished Southern gentleman that has had an uncanny ability to promote and lead this organization in an unprecedented manner.
He has some flaws, kleptomaniac tendencies. The White House budget for napkins goes up every time he visits and steals napkins.
Number 8, he's a Methodist minister. And because of that, his faith is very important in how he does his job.
He has been a great leader for me and a great inspiration for me, and really I used him as my mentor.
Larry is a leader that has the ability to get people that you wouldn't imagine working together effectively. Somehow, after a meeting with Larry, he convinces you that you volunteered for some work that he's assigned you.
Number 7 is he's got a cousin named Bubba.
Never met Bubba, would love to meet Bubba.
I want to miss Bubba. I want to miss his Bubba stories.
Whenever he gets ready to open his mouth to impart wisdom in what might be a particularly difficult moment and starts to say, "and my cousin Bubba," we just all can't help but laugh.
For many years, I assumed that that was just a character, only to find out that there really is a cousin Bubba and that Larry really does see him regularly.
Number 6, his family and his friends and his faith are very, very important to his life.
And that concept of family is what allowed Larry to be so engaging with the Leading Age family, because he embraces family and he has the ability to connect with people across all sectors.
Larry brought us together as a family. We all really do feel very close to him.
Larry's motto is, this is serious work, so we better have fun doing it. And I would say at Leading Age, every day, we have fun doing it.
People talk about Larry being a fun guy. I think it's overstated. He's really a pretty depressed guy. Most of us, after we spend a little time with him, we usually go to a bar and just drink our sorrows away. There's really nothing else to be done.
Number 5 is, he never met a stranger.
Larry has a way of starting a conversation and bringing the people in.
He could inspire you in a group of 5,000 from the stage, or he could connect one-on-one with a nurse aide from Detroit and get her to see her role in being a voice.
Number 4, what a great orator. He can talk about anything.
Larry is probably the best storyteller that I've ever experienced in my life. And he loves to tell stories. He loves to tell stories about his family. He loves to tell stories about animals.
This fetish with animal stories continues to this day.
It was a meeting, and one of the things that he said that day, that unless we were the lead sled dog, the view every day would be pretty much the same. And I thought that was one of the most insightful and deeply philosophical statements I had ever heard.
He loves to tell stories about his kids. He loves to tell stories about people that he's met with in Congress, and he loves to tell them over and over and over again.
But the thing about every one of these stories is that they take a very complex issue and they make it simple and easy for us to understand.
Larry uses humor to shorten the distance between people.
Larry has a sense of humor, totally. He should have been a comedian, really. You know what I mean, on a part-time job. He should be working them comedy clubs because he could do good.
My favorite kind of funny memory of Larry is actually a story he tells about himself. It's lengthy, it takes side trips along the way, but I will just say that it is Larry on a cruise ship getting a seaweed wrap massage. And that's all I have to say about that.
Number 3 is he truly loves older people.
Larry loves to talk about his mama, and I think that he really adored her. And loving his mother was one of the things that impassions him to really love and care about the elders and want to give them a voice.
Larry is a prophet around representing people who are aging across the world.
Number 2 was also one of the most important, which is he was one of us. He was a provider.
Larry is really a member's member.
This is his call on his life. Those of us who've worked in this field for a long time also feel that sense of call, and that's one of the bonds we have had with Larry. He's an extension of us.
But number 1 was really the most important for me, is he has passion in his gut for our missions.
He's never on the sidelines, and he doesn't tolerate you being on the sidelines either. He invites you into the work with all of what you've got to give.
Larry is as wacky as he is impactful in the field of aging services.
One of the first things that Larry did early on in his time at Leading Age was quality first.
His work on the alignment agreement between the national and the state associations.
Larry was very instrumental in bringing diversity to the national level.
The inclusion of class was a phenomenal process.
The creation of the CAST Commission, the Center for Aging Services Technologies.
The Academy is another major accomplishment.
We, I think, are now a credible source of expertise to elected officials and their staff, and that's because of Larry's leadership.
I think the retired future holds Wednesdays at the diner with chicken and dumplings for $8.95.
We've declined the request to have him consider being the next pope, but we absolutely think that he should be considering running for president of the United States.
Well, Larry probably ended up worrying about what his wife wants for breakfast, and either waffles or eggs. And when I think about it, knowing Larry like I know him, he probably ended up picking the waffles.
There's probably a book somewhere in his future, and I see the title of that book being, quote, Abraham Lincoln was wrong. You can fool all the people all the time.
I just hope whatever Larry does continues to share his little Larryisms and send us a Bubba story or two.
I think Larry is too energetic to sit down and watch TV all day.
If he thinks he's going to move into the sunset to his rocker, I think he's wrong. And to quote Larry, that dog won't hunt.
I also hope that he gets to be open to all kinds of new adventures.
Well, I want him to dance more. Yeah.
Whatever he's going to do will be done with great passion, with great energy, and whatever he touches won't be the same when he leaves it.
He'll enjoy himself, and I'm so glad. He really deserves it.
Larry, my mom would refuse to say goodbye. Goodbye was too final for her. So she says to her children, to her grandchildren, and to great-grandchildren when they're walking out the door, Vaya con Dios, go with God. So Larry and Kathleen, Vaya con Dios, and I'm going to add this one, y con mucho amor, with much love.
Wonderful. That's what's wonderful. It's wonderful.
Good, right?
What do I do now?
You're going to go to the podium.
Oh, my. Oh, my. What goes around comes around. There's no higher professional honor than to be recognized by your peers. As I join 55 previous Award of Honor winners. My late grandfather, Luther B. Papa Roberts, was a Georgia sharecropper and a suspected provider of unregulated corn-based alcoholic spirits to none other than President Franklin Delano Roosevelt when the president retreated to Warm Springs, Georgia, near Papa and Mama Roberts' hometown. Papa Roberts might have said that you have planted me in some mighty tall cotton among the 55. But rather than singling out a few stalks of tall cotton, I want you to think about this great award differently. I want you to allow me to accept it as a proxy, if you will, for you. You are Award of Honor winners every day for the noble work you do. And as surely as my name will be etched on a plaque, your name is etched in the hearts and minds of people whose gratitude to you and admiration of you is deep and lasting because you have transformed their lives. The resident who lived alone and in despair until finding new life in your community. The family forever grateful because you gave them hope and support through very difficult circumstances. The employee, the volunteer who found meaning and purpose in their work because you mentored them and created a culture that gave them that purpose. The dicey neighborhood your organization transformed because you and your board had the courage to invest in it. All of you worthy every day of any award we could bestow on you. Papa Roberts might have also said, if you see a turtle on a fence post, you know it didn't get there by itself. Or as often as I think of success that has been attributed to me, I often say to myself, even a blind pig finds acorns sometime. Yes, we all have our mentors, people who helped us get on that fence post. Mine were parents who saw to it that I had an opportunity in the midst of their own struggles. People like the late Reverend Jimmy Thompson, who was instrumental in my calling. The late Scott Houston and Candler Budd, who took a chance on hiring me. The late Reverend Calvin Houston, an African-American Presbyterian community organizer that taught me about justice, inclusion, and respect for staff and people at all levels of life. Colleagues like Mary Alice and the people that you saw in that video. If it weren't for Mary Alice conspiring with my wife, I would not have been given opportunity for this position. and courageous boards, both at Wesley Woods and here, boards that weren't afraid to lead. And of course the staff. I love this staff, including our state staff. All work hard, and they've been tolerant of me. Yes, the stories do get competitive. I wish I could name all of them, but they're symbolized really by Katie Smith Sloan, who made me a better leader every week that I worked with her. And she'll make you one if you follow her into the next era. And of course, I've been blessed to have a life partner, my wife Kathleen. I fell in love with her the minute I saw her. We've been married for 46 years. She believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. She kicked me in the butt if I wallowed in self-doubt. She reminded me of my values when tempted to do the wrong thing for the wrong reasons. And she reminded me that family trumps obsession over work. And she thinks I'm funny. So we are all Award of Honor winners in my book to more people than we know. And we stand tall because others helped us till the soil we grew out of and cultivated the roots that made us strong and guided us through difficulties inherent in life and in our work. So I accept this Award of Honor with gratitude to those who've helped me, those who thought I deserved it, and you, daily winners of it, that I've been privileged to represent for 15 years. So, thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I'm so grateful. Thank you. 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 But it ain't over. You got to listen to my speech now. This is my last shot at you into the thousands. It's hard to say goodbye. You know that. You work with people who have to say goodbye to life every day. I dreaded doing it. I dreaded telling our staff and our board that my time had come. But there does come a time. I initially said it's time to retire, but this meeting and the introduction of the concept of a life plan and listening to Dr. Gawande yesterday, my life plan is just changing. The hard reality, though, is that my career, my plan as I've enjoyed it for two great organizations, Wesley Woods and Leading Age, is over. So the life plan changes. It's not a tragic change or a tragic goodbye. It's a mixture of anticipation and excitement about new life priorities with a side dish of sadness. And while I may be leaving this career behind, I'm looking to actually gain more different in my life. More flexible use of time for some of the things I haven't had the time to focus on. More freedom and a feeling of relief. When Katie was selected and we left the board meeting in Chicago and I got home, Kathleen said, "How was it?" And I said, "It's wonderful because they picked the right person." And I feel off duty for the first time in 40 years. And wow, what a feeling that was. More attention to Kathleen and to a granddaughter, Miss Elise, and one on the way we call for now Little Dumpling. In honor of my daughter-in-law Elizabeth's trip with me to take my 90-year-old cousin Bubba out for chicken and dumplings, all you can eat for $8.95 at Daddy's Country Kitchen. But more on that later. Elizabeth, in her state of pregnancy, really liked those chicken and dumplings and went back for seconds, as I recall, with the peach cobbler. Kathleen and I just returned from Miss Elise's second birthday celebration in Los Angeles. Our daughter-in-law, Laura, is a great mother and is very gracious in letting us shower Miss Elise with affection and more stuff than she needs. She was up in our hotel room and Kathleen was and Elise says, "More stuff, more stuff?" Miss Elise calls Kathleen and me Nene and Pop Pop. And by the way, Kathy calls me Sweetie, with different inflections depending on the message, but always Sweetie. More time for my sons. Fatherhood is a perpetual responsibility. My boys, John and David, call on me for advice and perspective. They have their own businesses, technology. Where that gene pool got in there, I don't know. But they call me, they've been successful. They've got drive and creativity. I'm very, very proud of them. Mostly they call me with issues about how to treat people in the workforce. It's all about the people, whether you're in technology or aging services. When the phone rings, it's, "Hey, Daddy, I have this problem." So I have a title of "Hey, Daddy." How quickly the president and CEO title can be replaced. I think of myself as an outgoing CEO and a rising Pop Sweetie and a "Hey, Daddy." And I like these new roles. The staff is calling me that guy before Katie. I love that. So I'm losing the CEO title, one that I've been truly proud to carry, and nothing compares to leading two great organizations, especially leading age. It's been personally fulfilling beyond my dreams, and to quote Dan Reingold, if you ain't the lead dog on the sled team, your view of the world is somewhat limited. I've loved being the lead dog. I felt called to this work. It is a calling. I see that, I hear that from staffs at every level, your board members, your CNAs. Calling is always in there. Mark Twain said that the two most important days in a person's life are the day they are born and the day they understand why. I understood why when I walked into Wesley Woods in 1973 and when I stepped into the ASA boardroom to be interviewed in 2000. And I have understood why when I visit you and see firsthand the work you're doing to help expand the world of possibilities for aging. It comes through in the faces and the compassion of the people you have introduced me to. So I understand why I was born, in part to be your CEO. I will dearly miss you. You are great people. I've loved telling your stories, the stories of the people you serve, your board members, the loved ones bragging about your leadership, your innovative ideas, and sharing a tear or two with you along the way. I've loved telling animal stories. I call them parables. I don't tell jokes. I think jokes are not very good, but parables are wonderful. I've loved fighting for you, telling the truth to power, championing your cause. I love a good political fight. I've been proud to say over and over again to policymakers that you do the right thing for the right reasons. I've loved pontificating about you and to you. I've loved the leadership work, the vision, the innovation. I love raising money. I love calling David Ferguson and wait to hear him say he will volunteer to help us do this and that and the other. I just love that. Connecting the dots of our work, helping other people see that housing is important to adult day, is important to CCRC, to nursing home. It's all connected. I love the fellowship. This meeting every year, I look forward to this meeting every single year. The great Walinda said, walking the wire is exciting. Everything else is just waiting. And this meeting every year is walking the wire. I love making friends out of troublemakers or skeptics. You stop me in the lobby and have some complain about stuff, and I love trying to get that fixed and turning you around. I love our staff. They're like family to me. You have honored me with this responsibility and been generous with your time, your talent, your ideas, your hospitality, and your financial support. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. As I enter this transition, many of you had questions for me, and I'll answer some of them. What kept me up at night? 3 things. People in high places who have the power to make bad decisions or who don't care about the work you do. Those people really bother me. Yep. How to help you do better is the second one. How to creatively go about that and watch our staff try to make that happen. And how to get you to change faster in this fast-moving environment. Another question I might ask, what am I the most proud of? Expanding the association's horizon and taking on the big issues faced by an aging society. Ageism, leadership development, finance, technology, new ways of doing things. Yes, you have been willing to take on the big issues. And when it came to responding in a crisis to events like Katrina, you didn't miss a beat in responding. A true leadership organization and a true leadership agenda. They don't call us leading age for nothing. I'm asked why now? Because there always comes a time, and usually we know it. Sometimes we deny it for a while, but we know it. For me, it's the opportunity for my successor to have the same opportunity to craft a relationship with a new White House and a Congress as I had the opportunity to do with 2 presidents and 8 Congresses. And also, I want more pop, pop, sweetie, and hey, daddy time now. Those are my calling. Do I have any regrets? None, absolutely none. People ask, what advice would you leave us? And here are a few things that I've picked up along the way. First one, serve boldly. Push beyond your walls and your comfort zones. Lead confidently. Jim Collins said leadership matters, and it's a matter of conscious choice. If you don't lead, you may not well like where others lead you. Keep up, or you will become obsolete. Change faster, or you'll become irrelevant. Collaborate, don't compete. You got to partner with each other, your business friends, and yes, even with government. It's called the power of community. Remember the main thing. A board member at Wesley Woods once told me, remember that the main thing is the main thing. Keep your eye on the big picture and your feet on the ground. Create more fun. The neurosciences tell us the fastest distance between people is laughter. Otherwise, you run the risk of becoming cynical and surly, because it can happen in the work that we do in the climate we're in. This is serious work. We better have fun doing it. Advocate louder. If you don't, somebody else will, and we already know we don't like that result. Don't forget where you came from, as my mother used to say. You have values. Don't compromise them. The Bible says we must be in the world, but not of it. Remember the little people. Our work is not to benefit stakeholders, stockholders, ideologues, special interests, none of that. We're here for the public good and to meet the basic needs of our society that will be increasingly difficult to do. To make the lives of all of us little people better, because you know, we're all little people. Even the high and mighty are brought low in the face of dementia, and the pressures of becoming older and more vulnerable. Pray for each other, your missions, the leadership, including the new leadership of Leading Age and the leadership of our country. God knows our leadership of this country needs praying for. And finally, take time to rest and renew. My late mother-in-law, Dot, shared with a quote with me many years ago by Victor Hugo. Have courage for the great sorrows and patience for the small ones. And when you have laboriously accomplished your daily task, go to sleep in peace. God is awake. No, our problems are not on our shoulders alone. Back to the titles. What should you call me now? My nearly 90-year-old cousin Bubba, who I dearly love, lost his wife Rachel recently. I call him regularly, check on him. We update each other on our families, and I occasionally ask his advice, which he freely gives. When I'm in town, I like to have lunch at Daddy's Country Kitchen on Wednesday, the place I told you about a few minutes ago. So my new title isn't an emeritus or a past president or an encore or a consultant or a has-been. No. My new title for you is Bubba. Call me for the updates, brag on that new program or promotion. Talk to me about your spouse, how your spouse's chemo is going. Ask my advice if you dare. Tell me a funny story, whether it's true or not. And if you're in town, I know the best chicken and dumplings place around. Pop, Pop, Sweetie, Hey Daddy, and Bubba. And I bequeath the CEO title to a very able person. God bless you. I love you all, and may you and your organizations thrive. The health of our society depends on it. You are stewards of legacies you now lead from traditions with 3,000-year-old tenets. Those tenets have stood the test of time, as have you. And as I finish my watch, Katie's watch begins, and yours continues. Thank you, and God bless. And don't you ever forget, I'm not here from Washington anymore, but I am here to help you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. What?
Did you forget I'm pushing you to the center of the stage? You did a great job. That's fine. We're fine. Now you can read the script. Now, this is going to be hard for Larry, not that it hasn't been hard already, because while we've been on the receiving end of his stories for years, we're now going to ask him to sit down and listen to us weave a tale that is all about his unique, memorable, larger-than-life, maybe charismatic megavertebrate, impact on Leading Age and our field. I'd like to ask Larry's wife, Kathleen, to come up as well. Okay, let's go over and literally sit down.
Over there?
Yeah. And we really want you to stay seated.
Okay. Okay.
Your tissues are there. Larry, there's no easy way to honor your impact, your voice, your spirit. What you've done for this community and what you mean to our members, our board, and our staff goes without saying, yet deserves the most emphatic and poetic expression of gratitude and tribute we could muster.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome performance poet and author, Tanya Ingram.
Be the voice. Be the lived out passion. Be the faith. Be the magical connection. Be the optimistic yet realistic. Be the selfless. Be the laughter that unites people. Be the people. Be the millions of people. Be the millions of people you can affect every day. Be their faces, bright with wisdom. Be the gift of communication. Be the storyteller. Be the southern joy, thick like molasses. Be the catalyst. Be the present. Be kind. Be bold. Be the action. Be here to help. Be the advocate. Be the lasting impact. Be the leader. Be Larry. An amazing grace, a gentle friend, an audacious man. How he leads with holy work. How he leads because he is called. Those around him beam with God-given brilliance. His smile is a testament of servitude, finding good in the tunnel, finding hope in a human condition. When we say pain, he says, I'm here. His heart is a magnitude of vision. It is a compassionate tool designed to keep love afloat. He is an anchor. He is proof of goodness. He is our beloved friend, and we say thank you. Thank you for the years, how they taught us to be unafraid. Thank you for the laughter, how our cheeks swell with reminders that we can't put lipstick on a pig. Thank you for your service, for the members who find home in the song of your ambition. Thank you for your possible dream, for your smile. It is a warm field of welcome. For your example, a message of greatness. Thank you kindly.
Please welcome board chairs who served during Larry's tenure.
Oh my. Yeah, you can't keep a good board chair.
We do not say farewell, for we hold your light in the crevice of our heart. We see your face in the members of leading age. We see your legacy in the rising faces of those we serve. Look around you. These are the millions of people you have affected, the spirit of engagement you have gifted us. Look forth, old friend, for your works have brought the harvest plenty, and we celebrate the everything of you.
Oh my. Oh my. Thank you. I love you.
So Larry, involving Tanya was a way for us to bring the personality and ultimately the poetry of your story to life. Tanya has focused on social justice education through performance poetry, so we felt the two of you were kindred spirits. So thank you again, Tanya Ingram. But Larry, perhaps the most lasting impact is the leaders who will continue your work inspired by your example. Therefore, we cannot think of a more fitting tribute than to rename the Leadership Academy the Larry Minnix Leadership Academy. In addition, we've created the Larry Minnix Leadership Development Fund, which will provide scholarships and support for our leadership development initiatives. Wow. To date, we've raised nearly $125,000 from the Leading Age Board and a few special friends. And I'm sure we can count on all of you, Leading Age family, to help us reach and exceed our $500,000 goal.
Ladies and gentlemen, please
Congratulations,
welcome
Larry.
Larry's children to the stage. John and his wife, Laura, David and his wife, Elizabeth, and Larry's granddaughter, Elise.
Can you sit, pop a minute?
We'll let Elise get settled.
All right.
Okay. For those of you who don't know, one of Larry's favorite musical performers is the late Otis Redding. So we thought as a final send-off, Larry, you'd enjoy a classic Otis Redding song that perhaps represents a bit of the quiet contemplation you can now enjoy a little bit more. Enjoy.
From the Broadway shows Jersey Boys and Motown the Musical, please welcome the Doo-Wop Project.
Sitting in the morning sun, and I'll be sitting when the evening comes, watching the ships roll in, and then I'll watch them roll away again. Sitting on the dock of the bay, watching the tide roll away. Sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time. I left my home in Georgia, headed for the Frisco Bay, 'cause I had nothing to live for. Look like nothing's gonna come my way, so I'm just sitting on the dock of the bay, watching the tide roll away. Sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time. Looks like nothing's gonna change. Everything still remains the same. I can't do what 10 people tell me to do, so I guess I'll remain the same. So I'm sitting here resting my bones, and this loneliness won't leave me alone. 2,000 miles I roam just to make this dock my home. So I'm sitting on the dock of the bay, watching the tide roll away. I'm sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time. Everybody sing along. One more time.
Congratulations to the entire Minnix family, and thank you, Larry, for making the world a better place. Pleasure to be here.
Thank you.